Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I want to start a new project, and it's sort of late in the day because I've been on the fence on how I wanted to approach this. But basically what I want to do is make a lapbook. It's going to be sort of an industrial steampunk theme is what I'm going for. Never ever in all the years of me doing journals have I done steampunk. But I was recently inspired watching a video by Carol Laws, and I thought, you know, I'm going to give that a go. Something different. Plus, one of my subscribers in the giveaway comments had asked about me doing a lapbook, so I thought I would give it a go. This is a Reader's Digest. I watched several different videos to try to get ideas of what I wanted to try to do. A lot of people are using 2 books the same size. Well, I had one more Reader's Digest, but I loved the cover on it so much that I want to hold it aside for a different journal. So I used chipboard instead of a second book. So today, lapbooks become very elaborate, so I'm going to try to keep this down to hopefully like 4 videos is my goal. 5 at the most. Trying to shorten it down to 4. And as we get going, I think you'll see why. You know, it takes a lot to complete one. So today, basically what I'm going to do is add my base elements to get the base ready. And then I'll explain what I'm going to do once this is complete. The one thing I should have done, made sure I had I think this will work. This, yeah. What I'm going to do, I have cut out a piece of muslin that I am going to use to assemble my base together. It's going to be painted. The outside will be decorated, probably with some paper that I've chosen. But when I'm building a book from scratch, I like to use muslin as my base, I guess. I don't know what other word to use. But this will have 2 flaps. As far as the base goes, there'll be a lot more going on, but this is what I got going on right now. So, how do I want to start? I think I'm going to start, first of all, I wanted to lay this out so I could see where I am to make sure I have enough fabric at the top, bottom, and on either side to, excuse me, turn my edges. So I'm really excited about this project. I have 1,000,001 ideas for it. So I hope that you will become excited as well. So I'm going to start by putting this piece of chipboard in the spine of this to reinforce that. There'll be more happening with the spine, but for now, to get me to the point of just getting the base done, I definitely want to reinforce that spine. Seems a little bit weak. Okay. So I just want to glue that in. And then all that I did, I cut, I think these are like a 1/4 inch. Yeah, about a 1/4, or maybe 3/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch, rather. Spines here for these flips. What I do, I have a piece of chipboard here. I'll just try to put this on here. Pretty good with my left hand, huh? So what I do is I take a piece of chipboard. Oh wait, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I should have glued that down first. Let me put this aside. Urgh. Let's start with this. I'm just going to cover this whole thing with glue. I'll have to re-glue that little spine. And I really hate to cover this book too. I thought this would make such a pretty fall journal. But I've had it for a few years now, and I'm like, I really wanted to start this project. I was really on the fence about using that other Reader's Digest book, just because I couldn't find 2 books that I had that were the same size. So then finally I was like, well, I'll sacrifice this one and make the other portion of it. And I hope I didn't get too much glue. It's either too much or not enough. Too much or not enough. I'm going to put some of this glue on this other piece here, because I got quite a bit of glue on this side. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. Oops. Make sure I leaving myself plenty of room here. I'm going to bring this down this way. Now I'm ready for this spine. I'm just going to recoat that. Then what I do, I use a piece of chipboard. I butt it up against and then place my piece. That way I get the same consistent width. Just measure it from top to bottom, of course. And then I'll do the same thing between the spine and this piece. So if you had, whoops, that's what I get for using my left hand, huh? I'm going to have to wipe that up. So if you had another book cover the same size you could use it. I just measured how far in I wanted this to come, and of course the height, and cut it out of chipboard. I was going to use like cereal box, but I wanted it to be about the same thickness as the book cover itself. So once again, I'm going to stand my chipboard up here next to the spine. Trying to do this on fabric is not the easiest thing, but butt it up against there, Sheila. Make sure my chipboard's in there. In there or not? After I get all these pieces glued down, we will do this on the other side too. Let me just grab these. So today's video is definitely not very exciting. It's preparing the base so that we can get to the exciting part. And I tell you, the hard part about all of this is figuring out what all you want to happen on the inside with flips and tucks and all that kind of stuff. Because you have to think out the process of when you can do what. You know, when can I cover this type thing. So that's what I have spent a lot of time on today. Trying to figure out what exactly I wanted on the inside and how, in what order it needed to happen. So once again, I'll stand this up. Oops. Well, yesterday I think it was like, well, not very warm. Not hot, I should say. And today it's up in the 80s. We have our air on. And we had to do that fairly early today because the inside of the house was just really heating up quickly. I like to get a nice even layer of this. That way the fabric will adhere flat. You don't have to worry about it coming up. Just want to make sure I get that everywhere. Get my piece here, chipboard, place it up against there. But this. Some people can eyeball this. I can't. I am not that talented. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Get my brayer out. And all my muslin has been tea stained. Not that you could do this with unstained, you know what I mean, white, especially since I'm going to paint all this. I just want to take my hoop-de-doo. Can't think of the name of it right now. Just sort of push that fabric down in those creases. I don't know if all this is on camera or not. Okay. And I'll turn this over. And we know what's coming next, right? The corners. Let's see, I've got my scissors here. And I went a little bit off kilter, but I don't think it's going to matter up there. I'll just, that's not, yeah, it's not going to be bad. So what I'm going to do, you know what, I wonder if I just pull this corner, is it going to be too thick? I'm going to do it this way. Angle our corners. Don't know how well I did that, but I'm not going to fret over my corners. Okay, then we're going to go back. I think I'm going to do, this is long, huh? I want to start with my bottom or my sides first. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to start with the bottom here. And I know all of this isn't on camera. I apologize for that, but I'm just running my glue across the bottom here. I'm going to go back with my paintbrush. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be real neat with this, because all of this is going to be covered eventually. And I tell you, to make one of these too, in the event you don't have any books that you want to use, you can do it out of chipboard or cereal box or whatever. And I've made one of these out of file folders in the past. Well, the two that I've made in the past have been out of file folders. So you have options. You don't have to use books. I just thought it would be cool to do that this time, since I've never done it before. And then I still had to use some chipboard. And then I'll turn around to the other long side. I sort of have an idea for what I want to do on the cover, but I don't have what I want, which I can get at any sewing store or Hobby Lobby or any of those places. Just a matter of taking time to go and pick it up, but I had an idea about a certain portion of this that I'd like to try to incorporate. Just trying to get this fabric as flat as possible on the inside, since we're going to be covering it, you know, with paper. Some more glue down here. Got glue all over me. Okay. Then just do the edge. Now what I will do is let this dry completely, and then off camera I'm gonna paint this fabric just to give me a base color. I plan on, well, the back might stay the same, but as far as for the front cover, I'll definitely be adding some elements and probably some paper, trying to make my decisions on what I want to use where as far as paper and that type of thing. Come on, smooth out there, fabric. Okay, then wash this glue off of my hands. Oh, what I did with my little paper clip that goes in my glue bottle. Now, isn't that strange? Sure, I laid it somewhere thinking, ah, put this, oh, I did. Put this right here so I know where it is. Alright, I think I'm done with that. I don't have all the glue off of my hands, but once again, I like to go through the creases so that fabric glues itself together from the front and the back. Doesn't always work out, but I think it just looks nicer. No other reason than that. Okay, so this is, so that's just my base to work off of. I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to paint the fabric. Paint the outside and inside, you know, around the top. I don't think any of this is going to show because we're going to be covering it with papers and what have you. But I'll have that done before tomorrow. And then we will start adding some elements. I think, well, I have to look through my notes because I walked myself through steps of doing this. And I think what will happen, well, I won't say yet. But anyway, I'll have this painted. We'll be ready for the next step. And we'll go from there. But that is the base so far. There's going to be a lot going on once we get going. This is not the end result, but I wanted to get this portion done because as I was going through the steps, I was like, you know what? I have to have this prepared before I start adding some other things because I won't be able to add it after the fact. Like I was thinking, oh, I could start working on the inside, then do the outside. Well, it wasn't going to work that way because I was going to have elements that could get in the way of what I might want to do on the cover itself. So, with that being said, that's today's video. Just very basic base for our Lapbook. And we'll be back tomorrow with, hopefully, something more exciting. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Now, happy crafting, everybody. Bye-bye.